I'm here, it's Friday. It's bloody cold. Bloody cold. Oh, I'm all wrapped up. Oh. So, just waiting for people to join. Oh, I'm on the sofa. I might be throwing a blankie over me soon. I might. Hello, Paul. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Have you had a little advert there, Paul? Hello, Hydron. Hello, Caroline. Hello, MJ. Hello, Karen. Welcome. Welcome this cold Friday evening. Hello there, Kathy. Hello there, Sarah. Trandans, Judy. Welcome. Welcome. It's Friday. We've made it to the weekend. Just about. It's been a busy week. Hello, Nettie. Hello, Cheryl. Hello there, Thomas. You like Sunday chat? Yay!
Sunday chat!
There you go. Little special from Paul there. Hello there, Tony. Hi, Diana. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Well, I wish it was hot and steamy here, Hydron. I really do. It's really chilly, certainly in the house. It's not too bad when you're out and about in the sun, as we were this morning. Hello there, Glynis. Good evening. Yeah, but when you're sat in the house, it's so cold still. I've always said it. Takes until June to warm up. And it's really taking its time this year. The weatherman the other day said, we've had a good April and May, and we're getting all the weather now in June. And I believe we are due some weather tomorrow. Yeah, we've got thunderstorm warnings tomorrow. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it is colder indoors. You're right, Judy. And I don't know, this house is, let's see, which way is it oriented? It's sort of east-west. So the sun comes up behind, so we get a lovely sun in the morning in the kitchen and the dining room and the bathroom. And then it moves around that way. So we get the late afternoon sun in the front room here. So yeah, upstairs in the attic room, lovely. It's lovely up there when I'm editing and doing stuff up there, working, and Paul's working up there. It's fine, absolutely fine. But yeah, well, Sarah, tomorrow they're forecasting the chance of widespread thunderstorms in the southeast and the southwest. Hi, Ange. Yeah, I believe so. Hi there, Sarah. Yeah, this house is a house of extremes, actually. It's always cold down here, always warm at the top. Yeah. Hello there, Donna. Well, Tony, I am, fingers crossed, because as you know, we love a good storm. We love a good thunderstorm, and I'll be there hanging out the window with my camera like a daredevil. Yeah. Not really. I've never been afraid, and I think it's probably down to my dad. My dad always rationalized thunderstorms whenever they happened. You know, and we were encouraged to watch them and enjoy them, and we did. Okay, is that for me, Marilyn, in terms of the garden, or Paul? The garden here is fine. We're going to be getting some tree work done quite soon. When?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. We're having our eucalyptus chopped in half. Hello there, Wendy. Wendy and Joe, hi. Hi there, Lisa. Yeah, we're getting some tree work done. So the big eucalyptus that sticks out, that is extremely tall, that I hope isn't struck by lightning tomorrow. That's being
save on tree work.
Well, it'll save on tree work if it is. That's right. Yeah, that's being lopped. We've also got a plum which grew in a very odd place, and I don't want that, so we're having that chopped down. It's not a big tree, but it's just in the wrong place, and it's causing a lot of shade in the bottom of the garden, so that's being chopped as well. Yeah. Hello there, Carla. Who are you name dropping now, Paul?
An author that I didn't know. I Googled and I realised I met him in Belfast.
Oh, how lovely, Paul. How lovely. Yeah, Paul's worked with a lot of people, a lot of famous people over the years. Judy, Liza, Barbara. Not really. Judy, yes, but Liza, no.
Liza.
You ever worked with Liza?
No, Barbara, yes.
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah. Oh. Met.
Yeah. I like a bit of Babs. Yeah. Helen. You've worked with Helen.
Helen who?
Mirren. There's only one Helen.
Oh, yeah.
You've worked with Helen. Well, it's interesting, Judy. We had a neighbour, Auntie June, who lived next door to us. She was terrified of thunderstorms, and she would hide. She would turn everything off, take all her jewellery off, because jewellery attracted lightning. How funny. And she would get under the stairs. Yeah, she was terrified. My mum was a bit more neurotic about things, and my dad would get really annoyed with her. For, you know, getting, what's the word, illogically scared of things. My mum was always quite demonstrative with her fears. So she was also scared of birds as well. She was scared of heights. And I remember on holiday, we were in one holiday, we went to a nature reserve for a walk, and a bird landed on her and she went absolutely hysterical, absolutely hysterical. My dad was mortally embarrassed. And then on that same holiday, it was Anglesey, where my grandparents had caravans. In that same holiday, we went to South Stack Lighthouse. And I don't know whether any of you are familiar with South Stack Lighthouse, but you have to climb down some stone steps which are carved in the cliff face. And when you get to the bottom, there is a suspension bridge across a sort of gap between the cliff and the little island where the lighthouse is. And you have to cross it. Pardon me. My mum wouldn't do it. And my dad walked off, and my mum had to cross over this little bridge with a stranger underneath a stranger's coat. And of course, yeah, I know, my dad was so embarrassed, and we were all laughing, you know, as children. You just find all that very, very funny. But now looking back, she was terrified and should have been given some support to do it. But of course, in those days, we didn't know what support was. We didn't. Nobody supported each other. Not up north, anyway. You just made people get on with it, you know. So, yeah, interesting. Hi, Rebecca. Oh, thank you, Donna. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Thank you. Okay, so the trees are just having tree work done. One of the trees is a plum tree. It's a small tree. It's going to go. It's got to go. It's a self-seeded tree. It's in the wrong place. It's causing a lot of shade. It's small. It's, you know, just leaf. It's not a great producer or anything like that. But sometimes things have to be managed, you know. But we're tree lovers. We would never unnecessarily cut a very mature tree down, ever. Hi there, W.Y. Yeti. Yes, Cheryl. I've heard that. Opening the back door to let any... Yeah, I heard that too. Isn't it awful, though, how people are unsupportive of other people's issues? It's quite awful, really. Hi, Jeanette. It's interesting, Marilyn, the height thing. I was never afraid of heights, ever. Never. Yet now my legs go to jelly. It's weird. I think as you get older, I think sometimes your logic does kick in, because I think it's kind of logical to be scared of heights if you're on a precipice. But I don't feel nervous on cliff faces at all. When we were in Swanage at Vivi's, we were on the cliff edge at one point, and yeah, Guernsey, we've walked over the cliffs in Guernsey, been right at the edge, and yeah, I've never felt that feeling. But when I'm on, say, the what's it called, the Doodah at Kew, the treetop walkway at Kew, that makes me feel a bit woo, you know. Hi, Tammy Lynn. West Virginia, how lovely. So yeah.
Isn't that in the song?
Almost heaven, West Virginia, yeah. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Yeah, there you go, a little bit of singing. Not even warmed up. Yeah, Take Me Home Country Roads, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Love that song. Yeah, I have to say, I don't really like lifts either.
Oh my God, John Denver.
Yeah. What about
bizarre.
it? What?
Well, I used John Denver in my short.
Well, it was done by John Denver and Olivia Newton-John. Yeah. I told you that the other day. It was Take Me Home Country Roads with John Denver. No, you don't. And I think I know a little bit more about certain musics than you do, Paul. I think you'll find.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Yeah, I think people do need to be more empathetic about people's issues and more supportive. But, you know, when we were kids, it was a different time, wasn't it? And, you know, living up north, the northerners are, I don't know, quite a tough lot. Well, you're very kind, Nettie, but I wasn't warmed up. I could sing it a lot better than that, but I don't really sing nowadays. So I used to sing, but I don't do it anymore. Yeah, exactly. And I think, like I say, going back to what I was saying, I think as we get older, we become sometimes a little more fearful of certain things, yet more confident with other things, you know? And at the end of the day, I think the most fearful thing in life for me is kind of people, the horrid people that are out there, you know? Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that one. Society today, especially in the city. Yeah. When do you have to control the urge to jump? Yes, it is. I think it is a common reaction. It's a little bit like, I think, water as well. We were standing on a bridge today, and we went for a walk down the local canal, the Grand Union Canal, which is just in our local area. And we were standing on a bridge, and I was watching the water sparkle, and it's kind of mesmerizing. I love that. And I think there is sort of part of you that wants to sort of dive in, you know? Yes, Donna, I think absolutely. And I think a lot of older people had PTSD because of the war and the bombings. Yeah. Marilyn, never ride in a lift alone. Oh, don't. No, I know. I don't think I've ever been in a lift that got stuck. I've been in a few cranky old lifts. Oh, Paul has. Oh, surprise. And was somebody famous in the lift with you?
No.
No, exactly.
Jesus was, though. He was with me.
Yeah. Let me just check that I've not missed any comments. Okay. So, yeah. Nettie, you've started taking CBD oil and it's really helped. You got through a 90-minute dental appointment. Excellent. That's great. I've never minded the dentist. It's weird, isn't it? That's not been something that's ever filled me with fear. We were of the time that we used to get regular free dental checkups. I don't know what the situation is nowadays with children, but we were regularly taken to the dentist. Touch wood, I've always had fairly strong teeth. My teeth are, yeah, I don't know, they've always been strong. I've only got 3 fillings in my teeth. So, yeah, I've been lucky. Hi, Rebecca. But I have to confess, I've not been to the dentist for an awful long time. Yeah, I mean, it's probably over 20 years since I've been to a dentist. I try to give my teeth a good scrape and clean once in a while and a good old floss. So I try to keep them looking as good as I can. I wish they were a little bit whiter. Well, Paul did meet the Pope once, didn't you, Paul? Yeah. Which Pope was it?
The last one.
I don't know the Pope's names. Really? I don't know anything about religious people particularly. Yeah, so it's been a busy week this week. We're getting to the stage where, hi Karen, we're getting to the stage where we're having to make as many videos as possible at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. I'm focusing on cookery. You reckon it's genetic, Nettie? I don't know. I don't know whether my sisters have got strong teeth. My mum had good teeth. I don't think my dad had particularly good teeth. But you see, I've always been a regular cleaner. I clean my teeth at least 3 times a day. So I've always been a regular cleaner. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about my sisters. I'm not sure. Sorry, just checking. Sarah, you got stuck in a lift. Oh, well. If you got rescued by a fireman, it was worth it. I used to quite enjoy the the fire alarm going off at work because I was the fire warden and I had to go into the car park and meet the firemen. Yeah, it was always a pleasure. They're okay, but I love them if they were whiter. My teeth have always been slightly yellow, which I think stronger teeth are. And I've tried whiteners over the years, but nothing really makes that much difference. So I think they're just meant to be that, you know. Thank you, Marilyn. Yeah, I've never minded the dentist, never really minded having injections either. I've known a couple of people who are needle phobic, and we had plenty of clients when I was at work who we had to do desensitization with for the vaccines, not only COVID, but for flu as well. Because a lot of people that we used to work with disability were very often, what's the word, immunocompromised. So had to have, you know, vaccines for things like flu and COVID to keep them safe. So yeah. It's been a really busy week, making lots of videos at the moment, because we're trying to earn as much as we can to stay afloat, basically. Yeah. So it's been a busy week, and I'm really delighted with the reactions to the cookery videos and my vlogs. Paul did a really good short. That's done really well, but the shorts don't earn any money at all. So yeah, we're just trying to really motor ahead with the videos. So I'm sorry if there seems to be quite a lot of uploading going on at the moment, but that's the way it has to be in order to earn the money that we need to live on. Because remember, I don't have a wage now. The only money that I'm bringing in is through videos. So we're going to continue to be publishing really regular videos. I mean, there's kind of going to be videos 5 days a week at the moment, because that's the only way we can keep our money up. So yeah, thank you, Karen. Hi, Geraldine, welcome. Nice to see you. So yeah, lots of activity, but we had a little bit of a break this morning. We went out for a nice walk. So that was really, really pleasant. And the weather at the moment is quite turbulent, very breezy. Like I said earlier, we've got thunderstorm warnings for tomorrow. Apparently we could get a month's worth of rain in a day.
Really?
That's what they're saying, Paul. Yeah. So, Jeanette, you asked a question about money and YouTube. So it's quite interesting. Money's going up a little bit, but only if we make the number of videos that we're doing at the moment. But I'll give you the reality of the situation being a YouTuber with the number of subscribers that we have, which is, I think, it's coming up to 8,300. The reality is that we earn approximately £10 a day. That's what we earn. And that's what I have to live on. It's a stark reality, but that's the truth. So, but the good news is that I am setting goals, and we have other YouTuber friends who are doing very well. So I know that it's possible to reach a better state of earning through YouTube. So that's why we continue to push forward, because we have had moments, and I'm going to be really honest with you, we have had a few moments where we thought, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Because it's a lot of work, every day. You don't really get a day off for very little financial reward. The reward is in the community, the interactions. We try to get back to every comment. We try to acknowledge every comment. We enjoy the interaction that we have with you. So that's kind of the reward at the moment. And hopefully, if we keep on pushing forwards, we'll build and build and earn more money, basically, because we have to live, you know. I don't claim any kind of benefits. I'm not entitled to benefits because I've got savings. So I'm not going down that route. I'd rather work for my money. And that's what we're doing. So, yeah. Hi, Debbie Ann. Wendy, I'm really, really enjoying making the videos. It is, wow, Karen, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's a very kind gift. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Thank you. Bless you. I'm really, really enjoying it. It is hard work, especially doing the editing for things like cookery videos and my vlogs, especially this coming week's vlog. There's a lot of editing. Sometimes you're dealing with hundreds of bits of video, putting them together. But I love doing it. I really do enjoy it. And the cookery videos I also enjoy because we get to eat the results. And Paul's enjoying it too because he gets a lovely meal without having to do any work.
I still do work, I just don't have to cook.
No, I know. So yeah, really enjoying it. So I feel as though we're sort of motoring ahead. And I'm ignoring all the voices in my head that say things like, you're doing too much, you're publishing too often, maybe you're bombarding. No, I'm ignoring all of that and I'm just trusting my instincts. And I'm thinking, if I was a fan of our channel, what would I enjoy? And I would enjoy the interaction. I would enjoy a choice of video to watch. I would enjoy the variety of the videos. So I'm just going with my instincts. I really am. Hi, Dean. Well, there's lots of chat about all sorts of things. So I'm sure there's more to come. We've been going for 28 minutes. We've got 76 viewers at the moment. Thank you for choosing to join me this evening, choosing to give up your time, your precious time, to join me here. I really appreciate it on this very chilly evening. Oh, have a good time, Judy. Nettie, it's an interesting feeling because I was saying to Paul the other day, there are certain things I do miss. Believe it or not, I miss having to get up at a certain time and get ready to go out to work. I miss that because it's imposed on you. So it's an imposed routine. You've chosen it, but it is imposed. I was never late for work. The only time I was ever late for work was if we had an animal emergency when we had our cats. It's the only time. I was always on time. I was always pretty loyal. I miss the interaction with the customers. I miss helping people. I miss that kind of problem solving. I also miss the feeling that other people gave you, the confidence that they had in me, that I knew exactly what I was doing within that field. I miss that sort of feeling. However, we kind of know what we're doing with YouTube now. We kind of have found our feet again, if you like, and we're sort of really motoring forward. So I think you rebuild your confidence in other ways with other things, other projects. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're confident with the process. I was talking about the editing. We're both fairly good at editing now. And that's something until we started YouTube that we had absolutely no idea about doing. I knew all about music editing, so it wasn't too much of a learning curve because it's a very similar process. You're dealing with chunks of data and you're putting them together in a timeline, which is kind of how you do music as well. So we're much more confident with that process now. Yeah, we're both confident, much more confident in front of the camera now. So we're finding our feet. So we're hoping it... I did not do a striptease, Paul. I did a little singing. That's what I did do.
It, yeah.
Thank you, Karen. That's very kind of you. Marilyn, we hope Paul's getting enough sun in his garden. We'd like some vegetables this year, please, Paul.
I did like broad beans.
Yeah, shame about the broad beans. Love broad beans. Exactly, Caroline. Having that routine. I do miss that. But I'm kind of getting into a new routine, being at home. But it's still a little bit bitty, you know, so I have to really sort of push myself to get going very often in the morning. However, the coffee is helping. I'm really into coffee at the moment. Having not been into coffee for a long time, I'm really into it with the gifts that we've recently had from Leonie and from Sharon as well. So yeah. Oh, Dolly Parton. Yeah, she's lovely, Dolly, isn't she? Well, Santoshi, I try to feature a little bit of household chores in my vlogs. Yeah, but I try to vary it so you're not getting me every single week doing the vacuuming and the dusting because, yeah, I also like to make a video that I'd be happy to watch as well. And I'm hard to please. So if I'm happy rewatching my own videos, sounds a bit narcissistic, but you kind of have to step back. It's a bit similar to making music. You have to kind of step back and imagine you're fresh to hearing that piece. It's the same with video. You have to sort of step back and pretend you're a viewer, whether you're enjoying it, whether it's enough variation, whether the edits are timed well. You know, that's an important part of editing. It's all about what keeps you motivated to keep watching, I guess, you know. Thank you, Jeanette. Well, it's interesting, Marilyn, because I didn't grow up with cats. And again, my mum didn't like cats. So we kind of grew up thinking cats were a little malevolent, a little bit evil, you know, because we'd heard all these old wives' tales about cats. And when when Paul and I first rented a property together in a house share, a cat came with the property and we got to know her by living at the property. She was a vicious cat too. Hi, Susie. Yeah, and then we got cats of our own, blah, 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 and ended up having three. Two of them passed away at, I don't know, 12 and 13. And then we had Peanut until she was 19. So, yeah, but not anymore. No more cats. Just checking the comments. Thank you, Dean. Well, we try to be as real as possible. You know, yes, of course, sometimes there is a performance element, but that's kind of me, I guess. I've always been a bit of a performer. Even as children, we were putting shows on, doing silly voices, doing impressions. You know, me and my sisters would play together, and our friends would come over, and we'd always be doing something, you know, always either putting a play on or coming up with some kind of little business enterprise or trying to make money, and always doing something, always doing some kind of performance in some way. So I guess it's an extension of that side of my personality that I'm bringing to the videos. So, but we're just trying to be real as we can, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, in terms of cats, I would probably love to have a house full of cats if I really surrendered to that part of me. But I also know the amount of stress that we went through with illnesses and vet's bills and all of that stuff, which was very, very stressful, and very difficult to get through. You know, I'm just not sure I'm prepared to go through that again, you know. Sorry, just catching up. I think there were a lot of old wives' tales about cats and things like babies. So I remember somebody saying, oh, cats, you know, they try to steal the milk, or, you know, they climb into babies' cots and suffocate them, and, you know, things like that. I don't know. Yeah, Marilyn, exactly. That kind of thing. We grew up with dogs. We always had dogs around the house. Our relatives always had dogs. And yeah, there were usually a couple of grumpy old dogs around. I got bitten by a dog once, didn't put me off. You just get taken to the hospital for a tetanus shot, and that's it. It heals and you move on. So yeah, we were always aware that dogs could nip, you know. Well, Rosemary, I think you're in love with your animals. That's the thing. You're in love with them. They become part of the family. I don't like the word pets. I think companion animals is more correct. And you give up your life to them. I mean, I've kind of felt so strongly about our cats. It's almost parental, you know. I would always say if anybody laid a finger on one of my cats, I would kill them. That's how strongly I felt. Because I can't bear anything like that. So yeah, it's just, you become passionate about them. And I think that's the way it should be, you know. It's the way we've always been about animals, and we're animal lovers, you know. But yeah, it's just, thank you thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you. That's amazing. Yes, Marilyn, this is it. The cost. And Nettie, they do become your children. They do. Because, let's face it, cats can, I mean, Peanut lived to 19, nearly 20. I think the oldest cat, was it 36? You know, and as long as they're enjoying life, you know, it's a wonderful thing, you know. I can't bear the heartache part of it. Yes, Marion, absolutely. I still dream about our cats, and it's almost as though they visited you, you know. Yeah. But I mean, we both cried for weeks and weeks, weeks and weeks. You know, we would hear each other in different parts of the house sobbing, you know. And then for months you feel so down about it, you know. But life goes on as it always does. I mean, you know, we've been through loss so many times. Get to a certain point in life and you lose people. This is how it is. And yeah, it's pretty depressing, but you know, that is the way it is. Jade, we've got several cats that visit the back garden. Most of them very timid. One of them I noticed is rather poorly at the moment. I'm not going to go into that because, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Marilyn. Well, you know, we'd happily invite them in for a little cuddle. There's one cat in the neighbourhood who's getting on now, Rufus. He's well known. He's a real tart. He's been in here a couple of times. But I don't want any spraying in my house. We lived with random wheeze and poos and six for years. Yeah, I don't miss that side of having animals. Well, Dean, I've always joked that our cats thought their names were Come On, Get Down and Stop It. Because everything we had, everything that was precious, every precious ornament was completely destroyed. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Donna, you've got 4 abandoned cats on your allotment. People who've lost interest. Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I hate that. I hate it when people can't be bothered to look after their own animal. I mean, it's not right at all. Oh, Geraldine, hairball season. We know it well. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't miss a hairball at 3 in the morning. Or the hairball that you tread on when you get out of bed. Oh, yeah. No, I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. Especially when they're getting to be a senior cat and, you know, they sometimes miss the litter tray and all of that. Yeah. Oh, Marilyn, I could cry quite easily at all of ours. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's... Oh. And the little names. Oh, Donna, Hugo, Milo, Splodge and Little Ginge. Oh. Yeah, we had nicknames for all of ours as well. They would get called all sorts of different things. Yeah, bless them. We love cats. Yeah. Any animals really, you know. But I don't like watching wildlife programs because you always get to that stage, don't you? I mean, you're watching the little meerkats and they're all little sweet and they're sitting on their little hills watching, and then they'll say things like, but there's danger in the area. And you think, oh, here we go. One of the little baby meerkats is going to get eaten. I don't want to see that. No. Yeah. And I try to be an adult about it. I try, but I just can't. I just can't. We've got a little zoo in Hanwell Zoo. And we visited a couple of times. I don't really like zoos, but I get the conservation aspect. But they've got meerkats there. And you can actually go and you can pay to feed them, to go in and feed them. And I've sort of thought, I'd quite fancy that. What do you think, Paul? Should we do the meerkats one day? The meerkat feeding? Yeah, we could do. Could do. Don't sound very enthusiastic, but I'd quite like that. I think it'd be quite fun. Karen, how often are we on live? Once a week on the live at the moment. But I did say to Paul, I have often thought about doing another live show at a different time to catch a different audience, you know, a late night audience.
And I went, oh no.
Why? It's not your problem, Paul. But when I say a late night audience, I mean a different time zone. I didn't mean a saucy chat. No, God, no.
Saucy chat.
Saucy chat. No, not a saucy chat. Nothing like that. But we could maybe delve into, you know, my life coaching territory. We could solve people's problems. Because I have done that before on air. I did radio at one point, didn't I, Paul?
You did. Yeah.
I did. I did late night radio at one point. Tony, bye for now. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, there is a difference between dog teeth and cat teeth, although I have to say, Caroline, our cats drew blood a few times on my nose and my chin. In bed, usually. I remember being bitten, a really good juicy bite right there, and I thought, oh my God, I'm bleeding. Thanks for that. I think it was Peanut. So, yeah. Oh, your late cat was called Andrew. Oh. You like the gardening, Karen, and the cooking, and especially Sunday chat. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Well, you know what? Our videos are going nowhere. They're going to continue to come. And I've got some plans for this next coming week with cookery. There's probably going to be 2 cookery videos. I'm trying to come up with some new ideas, but also some experimentation is going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Can't do the nature shows at all. You're very welcome, Karen. You're very welcome, and thank you. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, Debbie Ann, our cats were indoor cats. Because we lost a couple of cats to traffic, when we had the last 3, we kept them indoors, and they were perfectly happy indoors. They had a 3-story house to play in. And, yeah, they very rarely had smelly breath. They had a good amount of dry food. We used to use the oral care food as well. That used to clean their teeth quite effectively. So, yeah, they weren't too bad, actually. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Shaz. Thank you, Rebecca. Well, I'm trying with the cookery. I'm trying to make sure that I include different methods of cookery, so different cookery skills. So, I mean, you know, there are numerous cookery skills, all the usual things: boiling, roasting, grilling. Then you've got the cake making skills like creaming and melting, and you know, all of those different things are skills and methods. So I'm trying to include those methods and skills in the videos that I do. Thank you, Dean. Yeah, I'm going to have a think about whether I decide to do another live show at a different time, because I think that might be quite fun, you know. Oh, Jojo, we've had cats go missing. When we had outdoor cats, Molly and Boo Boo, Molly used to take herself off in the hot weather for what seemed like days, and we'd kind of be like, oh, that's it, she's gone, you know, she's never coming back. And then she'd just wander in, you know. That's what happened to Boo Boo. He never came back. My little Boo Boo, he was so sweet. Yeah, he just didn't come back. And again, I cried for days about him. Yeah, which is why when we had Millie Biscuit and Peanut, they weren't going anywhere. Although they did escape a couple of times through open windows, and and I vaulted over fences to get Biscuit back one day because I could hear him meowing, and I thought, that's my baby, I'm gonna get him. And I did. I literally jumped over fences. I was a lot younger. And grabbed him and got him. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad your sauce skills have improved. You had a cat called Molly. Ah, well, Molly was a little bit vicious. In the morning, she would sit on your chest and you'd have to sort of be so still. She'd be purring away, but you'd have to be very still. Otherwise, she would go for you. Yeah. She would only be stroked in certain areas. Shaz, you'd like to know how to make a good vegetable couscous. I've actually got couscous on my list of things to do because I think a lot of people worry about making couscous and worry about the amount of water to use. I find it easy because I've been making it for years, and we have whole wheat, wholemeal couscous. Very easy to do. I love couscous. I really do. But we have to remember that couscous is actually technically a pasta. So it's made. People forget it's not a grain. It's actually been made. So yeah, but I love it.
Bulgur wheat.
You see, I don't like bulgur wheat as much as couscous, but they're very similar in the way that you prepare them. So yeah, I'm going to do something with couscous at some point. We use it with chili or a curry as a different, you know, a different starch, I guess. It's a starch, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Anne. How are you? Hope you're okay. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of ways you can prepare couscous, but I think I think it all depends on what you add to it and how you spice it up. So yeah, I'm going to be doing something with couscous. Mama's Oasis allotment. You'd like to know how to cook dried beans and lentils. Well, red lentils are easy. So are green lentils. You simply boil them in a little bit of water. Red lentils are quicker. How long are red lentils? About 10 minutes?
Yeah, 15 to get creamy.
And green lentils are 20, 25 minutes, something like that. Cook them and then add them to the dish that you're using. And of course, you've got the Instant Pot as well for dried beans. Pressure cooking is probably the best way of quickly cooking your dried beans. And in fact, have we got a video on doing dried beans?
Yeah.
Have a look through our Instant Pot. I don't know whether you've got a pressure cooker or not, but have a look through our Instant Pot recipes. You should be able to find the playlist under playlists. So yeah. And I think the good thing about couscous is how quick it is to prepare. No, Shaz, it isn't a grain. I know a lot of people think it is a grain. Absolutely. It's your birthday on Monday. Well, advance many happy returns. Oh, the curry, Karen, was divine. Really good. Ah, that's a shame because the Instant Pot is so easy to use. It really is. I mean, dried beans, it's all about the soaking. Very often Paul used to soak them overnight in plenty of water. You do a water discard and then you
cook for an hour, usually.
Boil them for about an hour.
Simmer.
Yeah, simmer them. And then I think you discard the water, don't you? That's also the thing. I think you have to remember with a lot of those beans, dried beans, there are a lot of toxins. So it's really important that they're cooked for the right amount of time, especially kidney beans. I remember in I think the late 70s, there was a big scare about kidney beans. And I remember there was an article on That's Life, which was a consumer program. With Esther Ranson, there was a big thing about, cooking kidney beans properly. But of course, now you can get tinned kidney beans, which are very easy. Sorry, just checking. Debbie Ann, you're off to the seaside on Monday. Hurrah! Lovely. We're going to be going over to see our Vivi again at some point. Yeah, so we're planning that at the moment. Yeah, so we've been going for almost an hour. We've got 84 people watching. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's been lovely. We will start winding up soon, because that process takes time. But yes, more cookery next week. In fact, I'm going to make a mental note about the couscous because that's something that I want to be doing. Have we got couscous in stock, Paul?
Yeah.
Good. Good. And I think we've got bulgur wheat in stock as well, haven't we? Maybe I'll do both of them and show you how I prepare the couscous. Maybe do a couscous salad with veggies and lovely things and some fresh herbs from the garden. I'm loving using the fresh herbs at the moment. It makes such a difference. I know people say dried herbs have an intensity to them, but using fresh just elevates the dish completely. It really does. So yes, look out for that. Okay, Sarah, thanks for joining us. Well, I think it's about the amount of toxins, because I know that some people, Rebecca, can get really, really poorly.
They can die.
So, you know, it's about the amount and the intensity of the toxins. So, yeah, we have to be careful with things like that.
It's like peanuts.
Nettie, you love a 4-bean salad. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Love anything like that. Hi, Ali. Yeah, I've been thinking, Donna, about doing salads, seeing as it's coming up to summer. You wouldn't know it. But yes, about doing some different salads. And a few years ago, I made a warm salad, which was absolutely divine, with fresh vegetables, lightly steamed, thrown together with some steamed new potatoes.
Isn't there a video on that?
There is. Is there a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a video.
We harvest at the plot.
There's a video on that, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a harvest from the plot, and we just threw it together and dressed it, and it was just delicious, absolutely gorgeous. So it's that time of the year, isn't it?
Oh.
So yeah. Sorry, just catching up. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I think it's time to do some non-cooking cookery, if you like, and throwing together some fresh, quick cook food as well. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Yeah, we do pressure cook most of our beans now, and Paul occasionally does batches of chickpeas, which are then frozen and then used to make curries, stews, and also hummus as well. Paul, have you ever done your hummus on video?
No.
No. You see, we love your hummus. Maybe we should do that as well.
It's so easy.
Oh, it's so easy. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Hummus is. But yours is delicious. Yeah. I need to be making some notes on all of these things. Couscous, hummus, salads. Yes. Look out for them. Coming soon.
No oil hummus as well.
Yeah. Well, we're really into doing things with minimal fat, with minimal sugar, you know. And if we are using fats, very often it's going to be olive oil. I have to tell you, I remade the brick. Did you see the brick? The fruit loaf that I made last week? Well, I remade it. And I've improved the recipe, and it was divine, absolutely divine. So that's coming up in next week's vlog, where I'm in the kitchen, and while I'm waiting in the kitchen for things to do, I do some exercises. Yeah. The brick was great. It was absolutely great. Well, our hummus is really simple and very light and very Moorish. So, yeah. So there we go. I'm going to tie up now. I'm going to start saying goodbye. We've been here for 1 hour and 4 minutes, and it is time for us to eat. So, Paul, Papa, tell us, what's on the menu tonight? What are you cooking for me this evening?
We're having crackers and water.
What? I don't think we are. I don't think we are, Paul. So seriously, what are we going to have?
I don't know yet.
What do you mean you don't know yet? It's going to be pasta, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Why don't I make us macaroni no cheese?
Oh my God, yes.
Why don't I do that?
And I can do a tomato salad with some olives.
You can do a tomato salad with some olives and basil, and I'm going to make us a no cheese macaroni cheese. We've given up doing cheese sauce now, I tell ya. We've given it up. That new sauce is fantastic. Hi, Grace. We're just about to say goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have macaroni, no cheese, cheese. Fantastic. That's dinner sorted, because that will take approximately 10 minutes to make. Get the pasta on, get the sauce made. Yeah. Great. Debbie Ann, you've got to do the no cheese cheese sauce with the nutritional yeast flakes. Since I made that first sauce, I mean, I was an addict. Cheese sauce, me, love it. Since I did it, I've not gone back. I've not made a proper cheese sauce, because you just don't need to. And the fact that it's hardly got any fat, you know, is fantastic. You can eat as much of it as you want. I said I would never give cheese up, and we haven't given cheese up, but we eat it minimally. But that sauce is to die for. Although, have we got any mustard, Paul?
We've got Dijon. You have to use Dijon.
We've got remnants.
Yeah.
We've got remnants.
They didn't have any at Lidl.
A little bit of milk in the jar, shake it up. That'll get the rest of it out. Baked whole garlic. Well, Jeanette, we did baked garlic when we made the oven roasted tomato pasta sauce, where you bake the cloves in with everything, and then you squeeze out the pureed garlic and mix it all together with the tomatoes. I don't think it's something that we would make, because garlic tends to get used in other things in this house. Hello, Andy. Goodbye, Andy. I do hope you've enjoyed this evening. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure as usual, a pleasure to chat randomly, freestyling, stream of consciousness as it always is. No script, no list. That's the way it goes. Nettie, I hope we have a storm as well. If we do have one, I'll be hanging out that window filming it, if I can, if we don't get too much rain at the same time. That's the problem. If it's raining, yeah. Well, Dean, make the cheese sauce out of the nutritional yeast flakes. I tell you, you will love it. You don't have to have all that fat. Yeah. Oh, you've got to watch the Welsh rarebit video then. Dean, if you like cheese, believe us when we say we were cheese lovers. We were crazy about cheese. Cheese, cheese, cheese all of the time in all of its forms. Now I'm like, what cheese? Give me the Nooch cheese sauce. I lap it up. And it's guilt-free. It's guilt-free. Hi, Mary. Bye, Mary. Bye, everybody. I'm going to finally say goodbye. I'm going to go. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those lovely gifts, you guys. Amazing. It means such a lot. It really does. Hi, Robin. Bye, Robin. Hi, Sally. Bye, Sally. We're saying goodbye now. I'm sorry to those of you who've joined us late. I am thinking about doing another live show, just so you know, at a different time. So all is not lost. It could be that I do 2 live shows a week. We'll see. We will see. You're all wonderful. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for being our online friends, because that's how we regard you all. And it's great. We love it. I'm putting the phone down now. I'm doing it first. You are wonderful, Paul. Especially when you make dinner for me, but I'm making it for you. So am I wonderful?
Sometimes.
Bye, everybody. Take care of yourselves. We will see you for
Sunday Chat.
That's right. Midnight Saturday. Take care. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Bye for now. I'm putting the phone down first. I am. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.